Greetings to you and thanks for joining us. Welcome to this other lesson. In this other lesson, we're going to look at editing documents. Remember that we have seen document creation already. Today, we're going to talk about document editing. Remember that editing is different from formatting. Most people regularly confuse editing and formatting. Some edit and format at the same time. You can follow document creation by using the link in the video description below. In document creation, we expect that you should be able to enter text. In document editing, we expect that you should be able to do some modifications on the text that you entered. Editing simply means reading through what you have typed and making adjustments to ensure that what you have typed is exactly what you wanted to type. In this lesson, we expect that you should be able to enter text, which means you should master using the keyboard. Again, if you missed the lesson on using the keyboard, then you can find the link in the video description below. Besides your ability to enter text, we also expect you to be able to create files. To create files of type document. Remember that to create a file of type document, you need a word processor. In our case, we have used Microsoft Office Word. Microsoft Office Word has a lot of functionality, some powerful functionalities within it. You can go ahead and try with other alternatives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to do modifications to edit the text that you've typed. As a quick reminder, the keyboard is made up of keys. These keys are used to enter text into the computer. Using the keys on the keyboard on which you have letters, you can press the letters and these letters will come out. It will permit you to enter text and you can go ahead and write your report, type your letters and even your projects using Microsoft Office Word. Using the keyboard also, there are some keys on the keyboard, like the caps lock key. We said with the caps lock key, it permits you to alternate the case of the letters you are typing. Like for example, if you type and it comes out in small letters and you need a capital letter, just press the caps lock key once. When you press the caps lock key and release, you'll obviously be able to enter a capital letter. We also have the space bar. The space bar permits you to give a space between words. When you type and you enter the words and you enter the letters that correspond to a word and you want to move to the next word, go ahead and press the space bar key. The space bar key on your keyboard will permit you to be able to give a space between words. Now, if you want to move from one line to another, you can press the enter key. Pressing the enter key will permit you to be able to move from one line to another. I have a lesson that I dedicated to using the keyboard. You can find a link to that lesson in the video description below. Now, creating a file of type document, we need a word processor. Go ahead and open your word processor. However, in our previous lesson, we showed you how to open word processor. We also explained the various features of a word processor and the various tools and options that are available in your word processor window. Today, we're going to see how to edit text. Editing our text, which we typed last time, simply means reading through what we have typed and making sure that what we have typed is actually what we wanted to type. This is the second stage in treating or in creating our documents. Remember that after you have created the document, you need to read many times and as many times as possible. The computer has 4 core advantages. Using the computer should permit you to work fast. It should permit you to be accurate enough, and it should permit you to be able to automate your actions. Automating your action means you should be able to have some repeated actions taking place on its own without your intervention. Also, using the computer should ease your work. It should reduce the cost of producing anything that you desire to produce. These are the 4 core advantages of using a computer. It means, therefore, that Our editing process should incorporate all these features. Now, the very first thing we should be able to do is to be able to move our blinking cursor. Our blinking cursor represents the insertion point. It is with this blinking cursor that you'll be able to execute actions. If you find a letter that it's not supposed to be there, for example, if you spell a word wrongly, then it is with your blinking cursor that you're going to remove the wrong letter and include and now add the letter that you would like to add. However, if you practice good editing techniques, then you'll be able to go very fast. All right, now we'll need to edit our text. Remember that if you spell a word wrongly, then you have two ways to correct this word. For you to take your blinking, you have to move your blinking cursor. You can use your keyboard using the arrow keys. The arrow keys on your keyboard will permit you to be able to move the blinking cursor to the area where you desire to either add or subtract a letter. This will permit you to work faster. However, if you're working on a document that is having many pages, then you may want to use your mouse to move your blinking cursor. Just take your mouse to the area where you desire to make the modifications and click once. Clicking once there will move your blinking cursor to the area where you desire. Let's take, for example, in spelling education, I made an error. In entering the spelling of education, I made an error. Notice that the computer is helping me to show me that there is an error there. The computer underlines the word education with a red dotted line. This red dotted line is saying that there is a spelling error there. With this spelling error, I can now correct this spelling error by checking to see if what is there is exactly what I wanted to put. Now, when I check, I realize that it is not what I wanted to put. There is a missing O between I and the N. I'm going to take my mouse and click. When I take my mouse pointer, I'll move my mouse pointer to the insertion point. This point is between I and N. I will click there. When I click between I and N, and I insert O. When I insert O there, I'm seeing that there is a foreign O that is after the word education. When I remove this foreign O there, and now to remove the foreign O, I will need to either click my mouse pointer to either take the blinking cursor after the word O, after the letter O before the letter O. If I put my blinking cursor after the letter O, then I'll use the backspace key on my keyboard to remove the letter O. Alternatively, I can use the delete key. For me to use the delete key, I will now have to put my blinking cursor before the word, before the letter O. If I put my blinking cursor now before the letter O, I can now use the delete key on my keyboard to remove the letter O. Those are two ways for you to remove a letter. Again, if I realize that education is not supposed to be there, that there is an entire word that I don't want it to be there. Like on the second line, I have we study wherever, whenever, and how we like. If I want to remove whenever, I can click my blinking cursor after the last letter of the word. If I put my blinking cursor after the last letter of the word whenever, then I can use my backspace. With my backspace key, I can now remove all the letters one after another until the word is completely removed. Alternatively, I can click and hold my control key. If I click and hold my control key and hit the backspace once, it's going to delete an entire word. Let's check that out. I press and hold my control key. Pressing and holding my control key will permit me to hit the backspace once. When I hit on the backspace once, the entire word disappears. This can help you to delete multiple words as we hit once and the entire word disappears. Now, if we hit like that and the words disappear, we can also use our delete key. For us to use our delete key in the same way, remember that the delete key will delete anything that is found to the right of your blinking cursor, while the backspace key will delete everything that is found to the left of your blinking cursor. Now look at where my blinking cursor is found. Let me take my blinking cursor to after the letter E. Now, if I press my backspace key now, what do you expect will go away? Obviously, the letter E will go away. Letter E will go away. But if I press by the delete key, the delete key will delete what is found to the right. It means that I will delete the space that is found to the right and bring S closer. If I press the delete key again, it will delete the S and bring H closer. And if I continue, that is what will continue to be happening. Now, that is how you edit. Remember that you edit by removing what you don't like and adding what you like. Also remember that you edit by making sure that what you have typed is what you wanted to type. So you will have to edit your work very well. You have to read through as many times as possible, doing the necessary corrections, moving your mouse pointer correctly, moving the blinking cursor to the insertion point. The major thing in editing your files is to be able to move your blinking cursor to the area where you desire to make the modification. Remember that editing only means making sure that what you have typed is what you wanted to type. If you read through and you find out that there are missing words, missing letters, missing sentences, you just take your blinking cursor to the area where you desire to insert a new word, a new sentence, or even a new letter, and then you click. When you take your mouse pointer to that area and you click, the blinking cursor is going to move to that area. Alternatively, you can move your blinking cursor by using the arrow keys on your keyboard. If I press on the down arrow key on my keyboard, it will be taking my blinking cursor downwards. If I press the up key on my keyboard, it's going to take the blinking cursor upwards. Now, the second tip in editing your documents is to be able to undo, is to be able to reverse an action. Let us imagine that in trying to edit your document, you accidentally deleted everything. That can be shocking. Obviously, if you accidentally do anything on the computer, there is a powerful functionality in word processors that will permit you to undo your action. This will be done with a tool. The tool is known as the undo tool. This undo tool is found in most word processors at the top left corner. However, you have to master this icon. Look at the icon. It is found at the top left corner of my window. For yours, it may be located anywhere, but you can always check for it at the top left corner of your window. This is the undo icon. If I click on it, it's going to undo, it's going to reverse my most previous action. If I click on it again, it will continue undoing until everything that I changed will come back to normal. It means that we can reverse all the actions, all the editing actions that we have taken. This is a powerful tool in word processors because there are times that you may find yourself in the middle of a mess, after making an error and either deleting something that you never wanted to delete. You desire to come back, and this tool will permit you to be able to come back. The next feature, the next tip in editing our document is to let Word be able to enable you copy and paste. You can copy words that you desire them to be at other places in your document. Let us take, for example, that you are reading and you notice that there is a word that you want it to appear maybe at the beginning of all your paragraphs. You will not go to the beginning of all your paragraphs and be typing that particular word there. You have to copy it wherever you have typed and you paste along. The computer has a memory where it copies doc items. When you copy and paste, you can copy as many times as you desire and paste. However, when you copy and you are pasting, when you paste, it pastes the most recent that you copied. However, you can copy a series of items and copy and paste them individually. How do we do this? You do this by using your clipboard. On the Home tab, go to the Clipboard group. In the Clipboard group, you'll notice that you have the Paste tool. This Paste tool will permit you to paste what you have copied. Still in the Clipboard group, you have a Cut tool. The Cut tool does exactly what it says. It copies and deletes the original. If I highlight any word, then I'll be able to cut. If I highlight any word, I'll be able to copy. And if I highlight any word and copy, I'll be able to paste. For us to be able to copy and paste, we must therefore know how to highlight. Let us look at some few highlighting techniques. I will show you 3 highlighting techniques for now. But however, as we move along, I'll be showing you other highlighting techniques. The first highlighting technique is the click, hold, and drag. Click, hold, and drag. If I want to highlight the word education, Let us say I want to copy the word education. I'm going to take my blinking cursor to either the beginning of education or the end of education. When my blinking cursor is found either at the beginning or at the end, I'm going to click either at the beginning or at the end, depending on where my blinking cursor is. I'll click hold. Click and hold means press your left mouse button and hold it down. Don't release it. Now drag to the left. When you drag to the left with the mouse button pressed down, it's going to highlight your word education. That is the first technique. Now, if I click but at the beginning of education, then I'll need to click the hold and drag now to the right. And when I drag to the right, it's going to highlight the word education. That is the first highlighting technique. The second highlighting technique is to double click. Double clicking means clicking twice in quick succession using your left mouse button. Now, when I click twice in quick succession, I'm going to double click like that. When I double click in quick succession, it's going to highlight a word. If I triple click in quick succession, which means clicking 3 times in quick succession, it will highlight an entire paragraph. That permits you to be able to highlight either a word, a paragraph, and do it very fast. We have seen already 2 types of highlighting techniques. The third trick in highlighting, the third and a very important step in highlighting is to put your blinking cursor either at the beginning or at the end. When your blinking cursor is blinking, now press and hold your shift key. When you're holding your shift key, if the blinking cursor is to the left and you want to highlight what is found to the right, then you're going to use your arrow keys. With your shift key pressed, now use your arrow key. Use your arrow key and move with your arrow key to the right. When you press the arrow key to the right, it's going to highlight. Alternatively, I can press the arrow key downwards. If I press the arrow key downwards, it's going to highlight downwards, as you can see. That is the third highlighting technique. And remember that there are many other highlighting techniques. Now, if I want to copy the word education, I will highlight the word education. Now move your mouse pointer and click on copy. The copy tool is found in the clipboard group on the home tab. Now click on the tool copy. When you click on the tool copy, the word education is copied. For me to paste the word education, I now take my blinking cursor to the area where I desire to paste the word education, and now I'll have to go back to my clipboard group on the home tab and click on paste. When I click on paste, the word education comes out. I can now paste education as many times as I desire by clicking on the tool paste. This will paste the education wherever I desire to paste education. And remember that wherever you want to paste, you need to take your blinking cursor there. You take your blinking cursor either by using your arrow keys or by taking your mouse pointer to the area and clicking once. When you click once there, you paste. Education will come out. Now, that is the first technique in copying and pasting. The final tip that we desire to check and see how it works is the automatic editing feature in Microsoft Office Word. First of all, when you type anything, Microsoft Office Word, for example, this is the beginning of a new line, which means it's the beginning of a paragraph. If I write any letter here, let's take, for example, I'm writing the letter university. When I type the letter university, if I give a space, notice that the first word automatically capitalizes. This is because the computer is able to know that it is the first word in a paragraph, and the first word in a paragraph should have the first letter in capital letters. That is the automatic feature of editing. The second automatic feature is that as you are typing, should in case you type a word wrongly, the computer is going to know that this word has been wrongly typed. When the computer knows that the word is wrongly typed, like for example, university, the computer tells you this also is automatic. It's automatic. The computer tells you that this is wrongly typed by underlining it in red. You can go ahead and check the spelling. If you check the spelling and you don't know the spelling, now the accuracy of the computer now steps in. You can right click. Right click on it means taking your mouse pointer, hover with it over the word, and then press the right mouse button. When you press the right mouse button, the computer will now propose for you or the spelling that might probably be the one that you missed. Go ahead and just click on it. When you click on it, the word will be modified for you. Now, these are basic tips in editing your document. Remember that after creating your document, you need to be able to edit your document. And editing your document entails reading through what you have typed and making sure that what you have typed is what you wanted to type. If it is not what you wanted to type, you go ahead and do modifications. And remember that the modifications that you're going to do will only be saved or will only take effect when you save it. So you have to go ahead and save the changes that you make. Now, this time around, for us to save the changes, take your mouse pointer to the File menu. On the File menu, you will notice that you have a Save and a Save As command. This Save command will save the modifications that you have made to your document. With the Save command, it only saves changes that you make to your document. Whereas the Save As command will now open the Save dialog box again. It will permit you to make choices like change the file name or change the location where you have saved the file. This time it's going to create a copy of your file. You can do whatever you desire to do. Maybe you desire to save a copy of your file, you're going to use Save As. If you want to save only the modifications that you have made, then you're going to use Save. Save is going to save the modifications that you have made, and you can now conveniently close your window and you say you have edited your document. Right. Thanks so very much. We just hope that you learned something. We try as much as we can to make it as simple as possible, showing you the things as they are, permitting you to see them and use them as they are. We also make sure that you should be able to use your computer. And after creating your document, being able to type text into a word processor, you should now know how to edit. Edit means making modifications to what you have typed and ensuring that what you have typed is what you wanted to type. After you are sure that what you have typed is what you wanted to type, the next step will be for it to look good. The next step will be for it to look good. We call that formatting. In our next lesson, we're going to look at formatting. How do we make our document to look good? Why should we even format our document? We're going to show you the tools that you can use in order to format your document. It's always a pleasure to know that you are watching. Please go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you find our content educative. You can go ahead and share with your friends if you love them. And I know that you obviously love your friends. Please share with them so they can also have the good news.